On today's episode of The Hobbyist Novice, we delve into the world of Star Wars Unlimited, as we're joined by MJ Cutts, game designer, for this awesome new TCG. Really excited for you guys to learn a little bit more about Star Wars Unlimited if you don't know about it yet, but we are going to be doing a lot of stuff with Star Wars Unlimited in the future too. So without further ado, here's myself and MJ, and let's talk some Star Wars. Welcome back to The Hobbyist Novice. Have a very special guest with us today. We have MJ with us today from Star Wars Unlimited. MJ, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody, talk a little bit about what your involvement is with the game.
Yeah, so my name is MJ Cutts, they, them. I'm one of the game designers on Star Wars Unlimited, one of the second wave of game designers. So we have our senior designers, Danny, Tyler, and Jeremy. And then we have the four newer designers that came on after the core system of the game was made.
Oh, very cool. And I know Star Wars Unlimited's gaining a lot of buzz these last few weeks. I first heard of it at PAX Philadelphia. I was at the show. We saw the big setup. It looked amazing. The artwork, everything looks so cool. But for those of us who haven't heard about it yet, tell us a little bit about the game itself. Like, how would you describe it to anyone who may not know of it?
Yeah, so Star Wars Unlimited is a fast-paced, easy to pick up TCG, right? So, I guess TCG can already be like an exclusive term, right? Of like, okay, do you know what a TCG is? You know what that entails, right? So it's a game with booster packs that you're opening. Maybe you're just collecting them. Maybe you're actually playing the game system with them in a variety of different formats. It's a game whose core system and ongoing like design philosophy that we check in pretty frequently about is really focused on like simplicity, right? That a game can have deep mechanics without having a bunch of text on a card or rules exceptions and complications, with the hope, right, that it's something you can kind of sit at a table, and if someone asks how to play it, you don't need to start with a whole essay, right? You can just say, we're just going to start playing it, and you'll catch on fast enough. And so that's alone like really fun and awesome. And additionally, right, it's a game about Star Wars. And as the name Star Wars Unlimited suggests, it is a game about the breadth of the Star Wars galaxy, right? So the first set, Spark of Rebellion, is focused on the Galactic Civil War era, which is, in other words, right, the original trilogy, things contemporaneous with it in the fiction. So like the Rebels TV show, and Rogue One. But right, if that isn't your favorite thing about Star Wars, we'll be doing other sets, right? We'll be doing 3 sets a year, and other sets we'll do other things. And so, I think pretty confidently say it's like whatever your favorite thing in Star Wars is, there's a good chance that it'll get some love in Star Wars Unlimited at one point or another. And so that's like kind of the other really cool part.
Yeah, that's cool. I love that I saw the Rogue One stuff included. I love Rogue One. Actually, one of my favorite Star Wars movies. It was such a good movie.
I just rewatched it like a week ago. It's so good. I just said it was like what was it? It was an interview with Nelson Gaming. It was another YouTube channel. They were very nice. And they're like, what have you been in on? It's like, well, I just rewatched Andor for the 4th time. And so rewatching Andor then necessitates rewatching Rogue One.
Right? No, that's awesome. I know you talk about 2 different types of game formats that Star Wars Limited has as well. Can you talk about the different game formats within the game and maybe a little bit of background of each?
Yeah. So the formats that we've talked about, we have primarily the Premier format. Premier is quote unquote normal Star Wars Unlimited, right? It's the thing that is probably going to be most supported through organized play meaning tournaments or smaller stuff like just going to a local store. Premier is you making a deck and playing it against someone else that made their own deck, right? We also have limited formats. It's something that is good and special about this game's design is that Star Wars Unlimited is very focused on supporting limited play in a big way, right? I am like a limited first player. I don't love collecting things. I don't like having too much stuff but I love going to stores and having social interactions with people and playing fast and loose. And so limited play, for those that don't know, includes things like draft and sealed, like pre-release events. And that is a case where you're just going somewhere, or maybe doing it at home, and you're opening packs and making a deck there and then with what you've got. And, playing with your friends if it is something at home, or maybe playing it as a way of seeing a new set when it comes out. So we've got those limited formats, draft and sealed, in addition to the core premiere. We also have Twin Suns, which Twin Suns is our marquee multiplayer format. Twin Suns is something special to me and to the new wave of designers that I may or may not have mentioned before this started. Me, along with Joe, John, and Ryan, were tasked with taking the prototypes and core designs that the senior designers had laid out for multiplayer and tighten those up, develop them into something really special. When I say multiplayer, Twin Suns is a format where you're playing with more than two people, right? It's not just me versus you. It's a whole table of four of us all playing simultaneously. And the most unique thing about it is that the Twin Suns format, you get two leaders, right? So every deck in Star Wars Unlimited has a leader, which kind of is this card always in play that's defining your deck and will be a really famous, beloved character from Star Wars. Twin Suns, you get twice as much of it, right? It's twice as much of a good thing. I don't know.
No, I'm super
like
excited
really
for Twin Suns.
Fun, casual form. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks. I'm really excited to play live. I'm hoping to get to play it live this weekend. Like we're talking now, it's pre-release weekend, so a huge weekend for Star Wars Unlimited. And as we're launching here, the official release date, I think next week when we're talking, what type of products are we looking at launch?
What type of product? So yeah, the most important thing I think for folks learning is to know that we have a 2-player starter. And the 2-player starter, says it is what it says on the tin. It's a starter box that is going to have decks for both players, right? So it's not a standalone thing that you would need someone else to buy a different thing to play against. It's just one box with Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader leaders and their associated decks from the duel in Cloud City and Empire Strikes Back. Along with rules for how to play, tokens to play, so on and so forth. Beyond that, if you play the starters and you enjoy it, which hopefully you do, there's booster packs, right? I mentioned before, this is a game where you're opening booster packs. You can get those individually. They also come in boxes. Some people will get a booster box to draft at home, as I mentioned before. Maybe you like drafting, but you don't love going out or playing with strangers, and you'd rather play with folks,
Right.
or something. You can get a box and kind of do it that way. For pre-release, if you're watching this within the next couple of days, right? We're doing pre-release. We're doing pre-release for Spark of Rebellion that has a special box, right? So you're going to be playing a limited format, but you're also going to be getting some special things for playing early. Specifically, that includes alternate arts of the Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader leader cards.
Nice. Oh, very cool. And I know also maybe some of the coolest accessories I've seen for a TCG. I got a chance to see the deck box, the magnetic deck box. It is absolutely incredible. I'm so excited to pick that up.
Yeah, we were joking in like the designer group chat when they showed that stream. I think it was Gen Con when they announced that stuff, and the Game Get It guy is like shaking the box and nothing's coming out. All the designers were sitting there messaging each other like, oh no, what if they like the boxes more than the games? The boxes are so good.
It is so good. It's crazy how good those boxes are. I'm pumped to get those. And like for those of us just learning the game, any good resources you'd suggest to go to for how-tos for the game?
Well, so the best catch-all resources I would say to just go to StarWarsUnlimited.com. that that website has a variety of features. It has a store locator, so you can find stores with those events if you want to go to them, or that carry boosters, starters, etc. It also has some tools on learning to play and also designer insights and links to streams and stuff where we talk in more depth if you really want to kind of go that extra mile and see the faces behind the stuff that's getting made. We also, there's people doing content creation. We have a lot of awesome fans and communities. I don't know how. I think it would probably be weird to be like, here's a list of some other people I like, right? Because that would be in an unofficial capacity. But that stuff is out there, and if you want to find like-minded people that like Star Wars Unlimited, you can do it.
No, that's great. It seems already had built a pretty great community ahead of release, which is really good to see. The website's awesome. Like, it gives so much information compared to other TCGs too. It's very comprehensive. Like, I love that you can see all the cards on there, the how-to, store located. It's a very good website for a beginner to check out. So I definitely suggest checking that out, like MJ was saying, for sure. Now, has there been any official release schedule announced yet of the different sets? I know you said we're looking at 3 sets per year.
So yeah, we definitely said 3 sets a year, equidistant from each other. And you can do math from that.
Yeah.
I think we said the months, but we have said that, and just sit down and see. It's easy to tell when things are kind of lined up to come out. But yeah, consistency is important, right? This isn't just true of game lines. It is true of a lot of long spanning things, right? Like frequent advice for like podcasts and stuff, right? It's like always, release in a regular schedule. It's important to cultivate, a good community is to have like a kind of a regular method. And so we definitely think about that when we're planning our releases of wanting to hit our stride out the gate and then kind of just like keep that pace in a way that is reliable.
No, it makes sense. Very excited for. I know there was the announcement not that long ago about the next 2-player deck with the Mandalorian inside of it too. So very pumped to see that for sure. Oh, yeah. Any official events that are going to be going on through the US or the world for the game?
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know which ones we haven't announced, but we have tons of events. We've already gone to a lot. We just sent Tyler, one of the other designers, to France, which was like, whoa. Like, oh my god, where am I going? But yeah, I don't know what we have and haven't announced, but they sent the email to the designers of like, here's the prospective schedule of various places we'll be shipping you, and it's a cool list. So
nice. Do you know the next convention you might be heading to?
Yeah, I don't. Some of them I just want to go to in an unofficial capacity. I'll be like, okay, we picked these other people. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go as a fan. I'm just, I just want to be there. Like,
it is a really cool scene. Did you go to PAX Philadelphia?
No. Is PAX Philadelphia PAX East? Are those the same thing? Or is PAX East in Boston?
Yeah, it's Boston. So I think this one's called PAX Unplugged, where it's just like
sure. PAX Unplugged, yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been to a PAX. I think it would be I think it would be super fun to go. I originally, years and years and years ago, had kind of intended to be working in video games. And I think it would be hilarious to go to a PAX that isn't unplugged specifically for a thing that is not a video game. I'd be like, I did it.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. It's been awesome. It's been so fun getting to go to things. Our community event we just did here in Minnesota was incredible. It's otherworldly. Like,
yeah, it looked insane. It looked really crazy. Very cool to see. Is it now going into the game itself, seeing all these different characters? Obviously, there's so many different characters to pull from all these movies, books, comics. Is there any certain character you hope to bring to the game at some point?
Many characters I hope to bring to the game. I love all the I said as much, I think, in one of those. I mentioned there's like designer insights on that website, and I think I mentioned in one of those interview questions that that they asked that my favorite thing about Star Wars is it's your favorite thing about Star Wars that no one else knows. It's the weird esoterica that, you know, yours and my brain are the only two that still keep that information. And so I love deep cuts and background characters. It's one of the Star Wars has a lot of different facets that are
Yeah.
cool, but that is one of them. And so I'll think about, you know, alien characters that are kind of in the background and stuff, right? Like uh I I want, Geonosians, I want to Poggle the Lesser somewhere. I characters that I would ask my parents and they wouldn't know what they'd be like, I don't who.
Oh, that's awesome. What's your favorite Star Wars movie?
My favorite Star Wars movie. I said on the stream that my favorite Star Wars movie is Revenge of the Sith. Um I'm a victim of the year I was born in. I don't know, I'm the youngest designer on the team, and so I was such a target demo when that movie came out. Oh my God. I remember I had a toy General Grievous wheel bike that I would just carry around
Yeah.
just cause. Uh, yeah, it's fun. I love that movie.
That's awesome. And look, it's a huge, awesome time for Star Wars Unlimited. I'm sure all of you are so super excited for this weekend with the pre-release. And we got the official release next week as well. MJ, I really appreciate you coming on tonight. Give us a few minutes of your time talking about Star Wars Unlimited. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.